Yeah, मैंने कहा माता जी कृष्ण.
Hare
Can you hear me?
Krishna.
Yes, माता जी, you can start, माता.
Um, there were also four shorter essays by other contributors, including Bhakti Saranga Goswami, an advertisement on the back cover highlighted, Gita Upanishad by Abhi Charandi, editor and founder Back to Godhead. In 3 parts, 1,200 pages, royal size, first-class Morocco printing, an elaborate exposition of the world-famous Hindu philosophy, the Bhagavad Gita, and its true scientific theistic interpretations by the chain of disciplic succession from Sri Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Madhva, Madhavendra, Puri, Ishwara, Lord Chaitanya, Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Krishnadas, Narottama, Viswanath, Baladeva, Jagannath, Thakur Bhakti, Vinod, Gaur Kishore, Thakur Siddhanta, Saraswati, down to the author with the numerous illustrations in color and plain from many authentic scriptures. To be published shortly, customers booked in advance. Price is 18 rupees and 110 pounds. And a second major work, Lord Chaitanya, in 2 parts totaling 1,000 pages. Neither of these manuscripts was actually near completion, but Abhi was expressing his eagerness to undertake such large works on behalf of his spiritual master. In attempting to print the second issue of Back to Godhead, Abhi encountered the same difficulty as before. Twice he requested permission to purchase newsprint, and twice the government denied his request. Paper was restricted on account of the war. On July 10th, 1944, Abhi wrote a third letter. With due respect, I beg to submit that under the instruction of His Divine Grace Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, the spiritual head of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, I had to start a paper under the caption Back to Godhead. The very name will suggest the intention of starting such a paper in the midst of heavy turmoil through which the world is now passing. A copy of the same booklet is sent herewith for your kind perusal. In that booklet you shall find strong world opinions, even by many reputed politicians all over the world, in favor of such a movement to bring back the world into sanity by training the mind and educating human nature for the unshaking spiritual plane. Considered to be the supreme need of humankind. I hope you will kindly go through the paper by making some time, and I may draw your attention especially to the introductory portion. Abhi also remarked that the editorial board of Back to Godhead felt that there was not so much scarcity of paper as scarcity of education. Taking the opportunity to preach, Abhi explained that although ultimate supplier was the personality of Godhead, godless men considered themselves proprietors of all things. Catastrophe that is now in vogue in the present war of supremacy is guided by this false sense of proprietorship, and therefore there is need of making propaganda amongst all human beings in order to bring them back to the sense of the ultimate proprietorship of Godhead. We conceded that there might be indeed a paper shortage in India, but in ancient times, he wrote, enlightened Indians had regularly sacrificed tons of valuable ghee and grains in the fire during religious sacrifices, and in those times there had not been any scarcity. People now, having abandoned all sacrifices to the Supreme Lord, were producing only scarcity. Can we not therefore sacrifice a few reams of paper in the midst of many wastages for the same purpose in order to derive greater benefit for the humankind. I request that the government should take up this particular case in the light of spiritualism, which is not within the material calculation. Even in Great Britain, the government has immensely supported a similar movement called the moral rearmament movement, without consideration of the scarcity of paper, which is more acute there than here. Let there be a page only, if not more, for the publication of Back to Godhead, for which we do not mind, but my earnest request is that the government should at least let there be a ventilation of the atmosphere for which my paper, Back to Godhead, is meant. Kindly, therefore, give it a serious consideration and allow me to start even by one page every weekly or monthly, as you think best, without thinking it is an ordinary waste of paper, for the sake of humanity and Godhead. The letter was successful. Now, with veiled sarcasm, he headlined his second issue, "Thanks to the Government of India." He informed his readers, many of whom had been disappointed to learn that the government had curtailed his printing, that he would be able to continue his magazine every month. Abbey printed his letter to the government paper officer and also the reply granting him permission. His articles were shorter, this time displaying the flair of a news columnist, as with philosophical criticism, verve and a touch of ironic humor. He commented on world leaders in crisis, Gandhi Janataks, Mr. Churchill's humane world, Mr. Bernard Shaw's wishful desire, and spontaneous love of Godhead comprised the issue. Gandhi Janataks. We
I think we can stop here, Mataji.